Alright, here we are in the weekly pack, and it's a bit unusual for me, but I was tempted in by a bunch of screenshots that were being posted in Discord of people getting 5-of-a-kind runs in the weekly, which isn't something that happens all that often. So here I get the full Bluebird start, not quite 3 Bluebirds on turn 1, but we're going to get all 5 on turn 2. And Bluebird is just one of those pets where its ability is really good. You know, scaling at tier 1 is very strong, but if you're just going all Bluebirds, you're basically guaranteeing you're going to lose or draw every all of the early rounds anyway. But we do get 1 heart back on turn 3, and here I take the otter because I'm hoping to get a couple more otters, and that will let me get some health, much needed health, onto the Bluebirds. And our attack scaling is very good though, so we're rapidly going to get to a point where we should be able to at least start drawing. That person had raccoon in the back, which is a bit of an odd decision. So here, find another Bluebird here, and hopefully we can get one to enable a level up next turn, and there it is. No otters though, so it's probably going to have to go. And this pack, there was a lot of, especially in the early rounds, there was a lot of egg versus egg in the front position. So we actually win that one, which was very fortunate. Level up, and with that single level up, all our problems are solved. So yeah, the reason I picked this run, because there were quite a few decent runs in the weekly. There were so many different options for trying to get 5-of-a-kind runs that I picked this one because Bluebird plus orangutan, kind of an unusual scaling method, and we'll show some of the other ones later on. But now all we want to do is level up the orangutan as soon as possible, because and we immediately get another one. I think the only stat food in this pack was fried shrimp, and that means that we can basically we can reduce our Bluebird's health if necessary in order to make sure that the orangutan hits it, or hits one of them at least. And because Bluebird's starting health is so poor at this point, that it's going to be a few rounds before that happens. And we also get the orangutan level up immediately, which is amazing. Another fried shrimp there. I'm not sure if I think I do use it here because I know that the second position Bluebird is going to get the buff. So it jumps from 2 health up to 10 now, which is actually getting to a point where it could in theory survive a few hits. Now here, woodpecker was a problem, but luckily we had enough there. And now it's going to be the front Bluebird's turn to get a buff, so it's not gonna instant lose to woodpecker. And I almost level 3 orangutan already, and we're getting +8 attack every turn. The slight problem with the orangutan is that obviously it's leeching some of those attack buffs, but actually in most cases we're going to be well ahead of other teams in terms of attack anyway, so it's not too big a problem. So now we're starting to actually win most rounds. I take the garlic. Garlic was the only protective item in the weekly. There was a turtle, but obviously I need all my slots for Bluebirds and the orangutan to help scale them, and then I'm just going to throw in the final Bluebird at the end. So here there was a bit of a mixture in this weekly. There was quite a few teams running summons. And summons obviously not good for a low health Bluebird team. But there was also snipers. There was crocodile with tomato, and also leopard later on. I think there might have been dolphin as well. I can't remember. I'm recording this on a Sunday night, so this weekly only has a few hours left before it will be replaced. But it was a pretty good, considering it was a pretty good one, I think. There are always problems with weeklies where certain archetypes kind of dominate, but there were a decent number of different options in this one. So here we go against another orangutan team, but I think our overall stats are just too good. And now we can start thinking about replacing some more equipment. So we're going to get tomato in instead of egg, obviously much better. And with the number of snipe teams, with the number of summon teams on the go, there was turkey and vulture in this pack. So I actually replaced the garlic already, even though that could have been a mistake. But I think being able to kill off a turkey kind of nullifies a lot of the threat of a summon team. Now here this team did have the tiger and the turkey, but they only had lizard, and the lizard just got one shot by a bluebird anyway. So here I guess this is a slight misplay, but that was me optimistically putting cucumber on the orangutan, thinking that maybe it would go up to 12 health and therefore it would guarantee buff the bluebird at the front. But I actually think the ability for the orangutan goes off first and it buffs the bluebird anyway. So I'm sure at some point orangutan used to buff left to right if there were ties, but maybe it's all random now. Of course, orangutan is one of the rare scalars that actually buffs itself. Which is kind of part of the reason that it makes it so interesting, is that you have to play around that. And there was no, I don't think there was lollipop in this weekly. Although, yeah, I suppose it would have actually been useful here because you could have made the orangutan the highest health unit and guaranteed the buff went onto a bluebird. But in the end, it didn't really matter. So I suppose you could argue that although there were no stat foods, there was chocolate. So you do get +1/1 for buying a chocolate, and there the orangutan does buff itself, so it's our biggest unit, but we're going to have to sell it as soon as we get to 9 wins. And this person's team, I think we're okay to beat them, but I laughed out loud when I saw this person's name, make scaling meta again. I don't know which meta they think they're playing in, but scaling never really went anywhere. So here we are with our scaling team getting to 9 wins, and we've got the small bluebird. Maybe I think I was maybe wrong to put it at the front here because there were so many snipes. You're probably better just putting it at the back and letting it take, waste an 8 damage snipe on a 1 damage unit, and you can see what happens. We go against crocodile and tomato, and so we lose a unit. I'm not sure if it actually made any difference here. It might have been a draw regardless, I'm not sure. Maybe someone else can do the math on that. So now there's very little we can actually buy. I think here I should just buy the fried shrimp onto the front bluebird since it has 1 health anyway. Its health isn't going to go up anytime soon. Might as well just have as high attack as possible. Again, probably should have put it at the back here. But the matchmaking is very kind to us and gives us another turkey lizard team. And we kill the turkey. I love it when the lizard spawns multiple lizard tails like that. It's so funny. But there we go, the 5 bluebirds in the weekly. I was pretty happy with that one. So that actually wasn't the first run I had. This was the first run. And it was a chicken game, which I think it was more interesting to do the bluebird one first and spare you the constant buy selling to get the shop to close to 50-50, but really when you're going for these 5s you don't need to get a 50-50 shop. You need to kind of give yourself time, and here I did not give myself time because I'm on 9 wins, turn 14, and what I decided to do is buy both the baboons here and then roll down and look for either baboon or goldfish. And then whichever one I find first will be what I go for. So we get the goldfish. And with 3 hearts, that means now it's time to throw. So we'll put the biggest units at the back. And I could have, because I did have 3 gold there, but I don't want to buy the strawberry and the tomato and accidentally win against a snipe team or a summon team. So here you can see if I bought the tomato, we would have killed the vulture. I suppose I could have bought it and put it on the back goldfish, but yeah, I'd rather just roll and try and find out. Unfortunately, we do find another baboon here, but the course has already been set, so we just buy sell the 2 free units for 1 gold back. And now we're just looking for goldfish, and I rolled down. Popcorn was available as well, but not very good for pets like goldfish that are tier 2, so what you're spawning is not really going to be worthwhile. You get much more value from popcorn on like tier 5s and 6s. So here this team has level 3 turtle. We have no shot, which is perfect. And we'll just get demolished. And get back to the shop as soon as possible to look for more goldfish. So we just need 1 more. Another buy sell on the free moth there. And yeah, ideally we want goldfish. Well, I was about to say as soon as possible. We get it on the next roll, and there's another tomato in the shop, so that means we can get double tomato on the front 2 units, which will be ideal for potentially sniping turkey or vulture. Because there was nothing, there was only garlic really to protect the turkey and vulture. There's no pepper or potato. And amazingly, we actually go against a turkey fly team that were trying to transition to chicken or something. I'm not sure, maybe it was the other way around, but perfect matchup to close out the 5 goldfish win there. And then I had, having achieved those ones, I also had this attempt where I was getting a bit cocky and thinking maybe I could get a 5 of a kind win using moose scaling. And moose is, since they changed it so that it unfreezes the whole shop, I've got to be honest, it's pretty awful. You know, every time you get to only having 3 gold left, if there's nothing to buy, you just basically end turn because you get, no value from rolling because you can't freeze anything. And here we just get absolutely obliterated by it was a hybrid vulture team. They only had a couple of summons there. But that was a fun run regardless. And then this one, another tier 1 attempt, and this is Moth, and I just kept the Moths from the beginning. Moth is such a strong tier 1 pet. The amount of attack it gives is just absolutely insane. And we've seen chicken, and there was also dragon in the pack, and you can use them together. They work really well, but I decided to try and scale up the moths using just the dragon. And here the moth ability comes in so clutch because it instant kills the ostrich at the front there. I don't think we had enough attack otherwise. And then the double garlic is enough to clean up the rest of the team. I don't know if I would have won that anyway. Maybe I would have, I'm not sure. So now we need double moth in the final turn, and we get one straight away. And because it's a tier 1, it's actually going to trigger the dragon, which is a bonus. Normally that's not the case when you're going for these runs. So we need 1 more, and we get it. And because we sell the dragon, we can also buy the tomato and make the front moth even more relevant. And again, we're hoping for turkey or vulture with low stats, although turn 17, I guess it's kind of unlikely. And what does it match us with? Actually, it is a summon team, and we managed to snipe the fly. And I think actually, I'm pretty confident that was crucial, that if I didn't snipe the fly, I was done here. So that worked out great. And the final moth just cleans up. Yeah, we would have definitely lost, I think, there with the fly. And here's actually one of the runs that inspired me to try the weekly, and that was 5 Chickens by Doorify. I'll put a link to the YouTube video in the description. Here it was a 5 Buffalo win by God of Americans, and this one is actually from the previous weekly pack. And then I think this is current weekly, and there were a lot of people posting 5 dragon wins, which I guess isn't a surprise. This is also God of Americans, and again it's the tomato killing the snipe team. I keep saying snipe team, I mean summon team. And yeah, so comfortable in there. And then we've also got a couple of other bonus clips here, and these are from pack 1. And the list of unfinished pack 1 5 of a kinds is rapidly dwindling. I think there's maybe only something like 8 or 9 left to get. So this was Peacock being cleared by XRB. I've had many attempts at getting the 5 Peacock win, and it just never pans out. But that's it done now. And also, one of the other nightmare tier 2 pets to try and get is Rat. And there's something funny happens here actually, where XRB rolls down, gets the final Rat with 3 gold left, and then even though the last turn was actually a win, buy sells the snail. So I don't know if that was just a reflex, or assuming the last turn was a loss. I'm not sure, but XRB, you can let me know in the comments. And actually, although the stats on the Rat team aren't especially good for the turn, the opposing team doesn't have any very large units, and the huge 41-43 Rat gets a lot of value there. So if you have managed to get any 5 of a kind runs on the recent weekly pack, head over to Haps's Discord and then post them in the Grounded's Bounty channel.